I certainly don't mean to disparage the young. After all, at one time I was one. But the truth of the matter is that young people just don't understand. They just don't understand life. They don't understand what life is all about. They don't understand what growing and maturing is all about. They don't understand about life's success. And I believe that in a lot of ways, early success in life is more harmful than good. Now, that sounds pretty radical, and maybe even sounds a little negative, but the truth of the matter is that looking back in my own life and realizing that there were just things that I just don't understand the whole realm of living, and to understand that God has a purpose in everybody's life, but He sees the finished product, and He sees the process along the way, and stumbling and failing and getting up and trying again, and sometimes just falling flat on your face. That's all a part of the process, because we have to grow into these positions of power, and we have to mature. And maturity is something that it becomes elusive, I believe, as you go through life, because I think that a lot of times, looking back in my thought processes when I was a kid, I thought I was mature. And I thought my life's perspective was exactly right. But looking back now at a much older age, I realized that I just didn't have a clue. And that's true. And so I'm not saying these things to down anybody or discourage you. I'm just simply saying that you have to understand that God has the big picture. And He sees what you don't see at whatever age you are. And I'm not saying that just because I'm older now that I've arrived, because I certainly haven't. But one of the process of growing and maturing is you begin to realize that you don't know everything, that you aren't necessarily always on top of your game, because, well, you've just had some life's experience. And life's experience is the most valuable thing. Learning and growing and maturing and stumbling and falling, and sometimes just having to just put it all in the hands of the Lord and say, God, I don't know. Just don't know. And the only way that I'm going to be able to walk this walk and succeed is when I'd lay it at your feet. And if there was any word of advice that I would give to a young person, I would understand or cause them to understand when the Scripture talks about humble yourself in the sight of God. And He will lift you up and make that a practice in your life. And if there's an arrogant spirit, pray against that. Pray against an arrogant spirit. That spirit that would cause you to think that you're the only one in this world that's right. Because I'm going to tell you something. You're not. You're not. And you're not all that you might think that you are. But you can be all that He wants you to be when you just learn to just walk with Him. This is Pastor Jack King with the Gospel on the radio broadcast.